You know, it actually took some time for the Despicable Me franchise to grow on me. I remember seeing the first one in 2010, and I knew going into it, it was about a supervillain, so I assumed it was going to be a unique take on the superhero / comic book genre, but it ended up not being the case. And in fact, I couldn't help but compare it to a movie that came out, I believe it was later in 2010, but that same year, Megamind. And I thought Megamind was a much better film and actually tackled the superhero genre extremely well. Also, the Minions were super popular, and while, yeah, they're funny, I kind of felt like they were a ripoff of the Rabbids from the Rayman video game franchise, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I just overall felt like it was overrated, but for whatever reason, whether it was through just rewatches, especially with my my daughter, my 2-year-old daughter, or through seeing the sequels, or even experiencing the rides and the lands at the Universal parks, I gotta admit, I've grown to love the franchise. Hey everyone, I'm the guy with no name. Thanks for stopping by my channel. Before we get into the ranking, I am trying to get to 200 subscribers as quickly as possible, so if you do enjoy this video, don't hesitate to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all my future content. I do have a full-time job right now. I'm hoping one day YouTube will be able to be my job. A guy can dream, right? But because of that, I've just been really busy and I wasn't able to get a review out for Despicable Me 4 in a timely manner. And I thought, rather than reviewing it late, why don't I just rank all the Despicable Me and Minion movies? Starting from worst to best, it pains me to say I gotta go with Despicable Me 4. I was very excited to hear they were going to make a 4th Despicable Me, since the 3rd one had come out almost 10 years ago in 2017. Don't get me wrong, the Minion spin-offs were fine, but I was ready for it to return to Gru and family. Despicable Me 4 is fun, but it does have some shortcomings, including, but not limited to, an oversimplified plot, an antagonist who is a little too weird, and probably the least amount of jokes that hit for me. It's not bad, but the other films on this list are simply better. My number 5 and 4 are very close, but I think I gotta go with Minions for the number 5 spot. Once again, it's not a bad movie, but I felt like something was missing, chief of which was a main character who could speak a language other than Minionese. Also, I felt like the antagonist, Scarlet Overkill, was a boring character, and this might be a hot take, but I didn't think Sandra Bullock did a very good job as the voice. Overall, I at least appreciated the attempt to make a creative spin-off of the core movies. Number 4, Despicable Me 3. I liked this one just a bit more than Minions because Gru is a great protagonist, and I found Balthazar Brat to be a funnier, more interesting villain. Not sure if I'm a fan of Gru's long-lost brother or not, but I did appreciate some of the humor surrounding how different they both were. 3, Despicable Me, the one that started it all. The more I watch this movie, which is a lot since I have a 2-year-old, the more I like it. I love the character arc of Gru, the parent-child dynamic between him, Margot, Edith, and Agnes. Vector is a decent villain, and there's a perfect amount of jokes and heart. I also had a difficult time with my number 2 choice, but ultimately I had to go with Minions: The Rise of Gru. This one was a big step up from its predecessor, and I'm very glad they continued the narrative thread at the end of the first one. There's a good blend of characters we know and don't know. Young Gru, as the main character, fills in the hole the first one had, and the story kept me entertained from start to finish. Finally, number 1, which to me is the best of the franchise, Despicable Me 2. I really had a fun time with this one. It took the story and world of the first and really expanded it all in a great way. Whether it's the introduction of the Anti-Villain League, the many misadventures of a love-struck Gru, Margot being infatuated with a boy and Gru's reaction to it all, the humorous villain El Macho, or the hilarious and, at the same time terrifying, evil mutated Minions, there really is so much to love in this sequel. So that's my list, but let me know what yours is in the comments below. I love to see how they compare against each other, and just so you know, I don't say this every time, but I really do try to get to each and every comment, so I'd say there's about a 98% chance that I will be responding to all the comments that I get. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching. I do have some other ranking videos on my channel. I got a whole playlist even. But yeah, hope you guys have a good weekend. This is Guy with No Name signing off.